the day's market movements. Marcus Bogdan from Blackmore Capital joins us now live. Marcus, always great to have you on the programme. The ASX 200 hovering around those record highs once again. Give us your take on the current environment.
Well, the market is actually working incredibly efficiently. It's reflecting the fact that the Australian economy is ahead of where it was pre-COVID. We've had a fantastic recovery in earnings and dividends, and they're almost back to pre-COVID levels. And so now we're really at fair value unless we see an acceleration, further acceleration of earnings. And then we've also seen earnings revisions move up every month for the last 9 months, which has been the strongest in two decades. But where we are now, fair value, and it is more challenging to find real value in the market now.
All right, so well, that begs the question, where are you finding value at the moment? I know you've been looking at healthcare stocks. Are you seeing any there?
Yeah, I mean, some of the healthcare stocks are now starting to recover. We've seen CSL starting to move forward, Resmed, Sonic, Healius. The real laggard is Ramsay Healthcare, and I think that's a function of they've made a very large acquisition, which I think is sensible, but it still needs to be funded. And it still needs to benefit from a reopening of the economies because their businesses are not only Australian but also Europe and in the UK. And I think there are areas in the energy sector, particularly Ampol, given the government support there, where you could see some long-term value also in the energy sector at this point in time. But, you know, remaining overweight the banks and resources still look particularly good. But I think a lot of that now is reflected in those prices.
What do you think of the commodities space, Marcus? We've chatted about gold for a while now, of course, pushing through that key level of $1,900 an ounce. What's the local play for you?
We do like we like having gold in the portfolio as a diversifier, and we have started to see some recovery there. And we're principally exposed through Northern Star. We do have, you know, a good weighting in BHP. We've recently trimmed that weighting and allocated that money back into Santos, and so just building on that position there. So it's really it's a diversification. It is having some gold, particularly because it has lagged so dramatically over the last year. It's reallocating some more money into energy, particularly as apart from Victoria, seeing that sort of reopening trade there as well.
Marcus, we have been asking fundies how their cash allocation is at the moment. Do you have a significant amount of cash on the sidelines, perhaps looking for further opportunities should there be something of a pullback?
No, we're pretty fully invested, and I'm glad we are because markets have just kept on moving forward. What we have done is we've tilted probably to more quality plays, those companies that have lagged the overall market. So we've increased the quality in the portfolio in terms of earnings and balance sheet strength. But we still have a little bit on the side there if there are pullbacks, and we've certainly got some stocks on our watch list that we would add to if prices did come back.
Marcus, thanks so much for joining us this morning from Blackmore Capital.
Thank you very much. Cheers.